World. It's the most anticipated show on a Monday night in country Belize, the business hour for movers and shakers right here on Love Television, Love FM. I'm joined in studio by my co-host Troy Gabb. I'm a host Daryl Carter. And here's some of the things which we want to share with you, Belize, before we open up the line and everybody get in and have something to say. The one big thing which overshadowed the whole country in its conversation, the total media and everything else, came to a halt last week when no other than the cabinet itself voted for it to come to an end. What this does is to signal to us that there has been a shift, and maybe just a slight shift in terms of what I call circling the wagon, in that the government in office, for the very first time, no really need Belize City to win. Now get me wrong, it will get some seats from out of Belize City, but it never really needed to win. So it have been able to circle the wagon. This is the very first time out of the cabinet, coming out of a cabinet, that the Belize City and some of the wagon people have been able to merge in order to get that decision. I hope you could think deep so that you could understand where I'm coming from. But the Belize that run by a George Price, run by an Esquivel, run by a Dean Barrow, is no longer that same political scheme. It's totally from outside. Having said that, I want to say that the Saturday downtown sale, Troy, was awesome, crowded. People was on Albert Street shopping, mothers, teachers, whatever. And the stores, they kicked in. So you had Brody's, you had Mikado's, you had others that kicked in as well. Yeah. And so people stretched in dollar, and it was a very, very good thing per se. And so the kids are getting down in terms of getting ready for school. School actually opens next Monday for the high class classers, and certainly for the little kids in 2 weeks. So the following Monday for the younger one. But it was really a good thing.
I will add that there's another GST free weekend coming up at end of August, but there is also still, though, this sort of cloud where we still had a huge amount of people going across the border over the weekend as well, Melchor, Chetumal. In conjunction, while we had the activities here in country, we still had a couple of persons, a substantial amount of people going across the line.
They go for the lead trip too.
And, but at the end of the day, they're taking the money they earn here across the border. And, the discussion and comparisons, the jury is still out. Some people feel as though the price may still end up cheaper. But again, these are things that we have to look at for the following year, or even coming up to the December, when the government seem to be on a pattern to give you the GST free weekend in the Christmas season. So we have to be able to gauge that to see how we could try to mitigate or minimize that huge influx of person traversing the borders, in particular Melchor during the school season, and then Chetumal during the Christmas season.
Just when I thought that we were done with it, that we had spent valuable time trying to educate, trying to tell our people to slow down on motorbike, when I wrote down my little notes from Saturday, I had down that one policeman early on Saturday morning crashed and killed himself. Notwithstanding that, just between the clock clicking and clicking and clicking, we also end up with another policeman from up north that crashed on his motorcycle. He died. His passenger received great wayne, and you had other people in accident. However, out of that news, I want to big up the Belize City Council And I want to big up also the police traffic department who listened to the business hour and on our suggestion came out Wednesday, all day Wednesday, all in at the night at the corner of Carousel and Cemetery Road and wrote out probably over 100 tickets. I know they play, I know they exaggerate. I am telling you, we're going on. Had it not rained last week, Wednesday night, they would have been out there for a long haul. And so they were out there, so they were effective because they saw for themselves what was going on and the amount of people we know have the traffic this or not have that on or no whatever. It was astonished. So we say kudos in those directions, but it's also up to you. At the end of the day, I mentioned last week, I have a friend. His name is David Smith. He has a motorcycle over 51 years, no accident. So now they tell me that the bike, now they tell me that the motorcycle. It's you at the end of the day being total discipline and whatever. And it's a sad tale, but we also have to say.
I totally agree with you. I think we said it last week. And just to reiterate the point is that we have to be our own keeper. We got to take care of ourselves, being reckless on a motorbike. And then you hope that the person in the vehicle or the other person is going to be able to notice you, especially when you're traveling at night. Make sure your lights are working because you're a smaller vehicle and sometimes you come up in these vehicles blind spot and they don't see you. So I would prefer I want my cycle to be as bright as possible, especially when I'm traveling on the highway because it's dark. There's no light. And so you might not be picked up, especially some motorcycle I see have no lights at all, no reflectors, and some of them have lights that are very, very dim that you don't see until you're right on top of them. I think that you need to be more aware of your own safety, that you would want to make sure that your lights are working so that there can be no mistake that you're on the road. No mistake whatsoever, especially on the highway. And why it's so dangerous on the highway? Because you're traveling at a different speed, a greater speed than in the city. You might be able to survive a little crash in the city, a little fender bender, you'll get some road rash and things like that because you're not going as fast. But on the highway, it is very lethal. So I urge you to please check your bike every so often for lights.
Don't turn it into a coffin, a two-wheel coffin.
The same thing we do with your vehicle. To check the lights, make sure all your lights are working. Make sure at least for minimum your tail light is working so that they can see you very, very clearly, because you're occupying a lane that the vehicle is going to pass and they might run over you if they don't see you. That happens all the time. Happens all the time. The vehicle run up on them and then they spill out into the road and that accident occurs. So I'm not saying that it's a lack of lighting that may have caused some of those accidents, but I want to make sure that is not one of the reasons that contributes to somebody dying.
Last week, a caller called to the business hour and suggested that it was the police who had shut down cricket in the River Valley. Troy and I, listening, said that we will respond to him, of which I did reach the Commissioner of Police and asked him whether or not this was true. He responded and replied that they have absolutely nothing to do with the shutdown of cricket, nothing to do with cricket, and therefore I also reached out to the Minister, Marconi, and who suggested that some game, some friendly game would be coming very soon in terms of setting that to rest.
Actually, the commissioner said they would hope there'd be more sporting events.
I am a cricket follower, so I got a landing. I go all over, go watch it. So I will certainly be happy to know that, starts up and we are following the cricket. Hey, I see a lot of works going on. I see for the first time the Johnson Street being redone completely. You pass by the old lighthouse. There is surfacing and fixtures and what have you going up. The new Radisson looks very, very good. The for money, the same money where we get Ashcraft build back your hotel. But a lot of things are happening and you got to pay attention to it because it's improving the city. But one of the areas that I looked at is the new fix out at the cemetery coming in and going out. That will elevate the road to a higher height. What this means is what we have been saying right here, that under climate change and underneath what we are seeing, now we haven't had any earthquake or any tsunami down Hector. I've checked, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, somebody asked the question, how prepared would we be for an earthquake? I don't know. I don't know if there's any major preparation. Other than just try to get out your building.
It's not likely. It's not. We only shake. It's not likely, but
But in the event, I think my advice would be to anybody: you try to
the open.
Get in an open area because one of the things that really does damage is the collapse of buildings and persons.
Right.
So if you feel an earthquake, the best thing to do is to get outside your house. That's the best solution or advice one can give at this point in time. Then after that, the NEMO can kick in to give you relief and so, but you need to survive.
Yeah.
And the best way to survive is being out in the open.
Yeah, but where I'm heading with this conversation is looking around the city and looking around the town. It is clear to me that we have to build 3 feet up, 40 inches minimum as far as I am looking. The road is coming up. What that is telling you, if the road come up, that means you and the lower. And we have seen it out in Ladyville. We have seen it out in other areas where I've seen houses, the road there up here and the houses there way down there. And so we have to make that conscious, especially in a climate change, especially with what is happening, global warming. A conscious decision that, going low in the houses. The houses built low in the Cinderella Plaza area, in the Kings Park area, back of Farbers Road area, and what have you, that I have visited and seen, Troy are low. They sink after a while, and they are extremely low. So you don't want that in case of a hurricane. You don't want that in case of a flash flood or what have you. And we are just saying in careful thinking and what have you, 36 inches, 40 inches ought to be where to go because the house won't sink. I have a house in front of we right now where totally gone down and I figure maybe 12 inches gone down. All right, water could flow straight down in at this, and it's a cement house. So let us look at that, and like I said, in some areas at Ladyville, getting yourself some sandbag, preparing yourself for a blockage or something because we don't know what is happening. It's the 10th day of September, 21st of September. It's coming. We can't stop it. It's rolling. As a matter of fact, we have events. We actually have a team already for it. And we say kudos in this direction. Belize was one of the last countries to actually gain its independence primarily because of the Guatemalan claim. And we never just want to do it haphazardly. We really wanted to do it with some kind of defense mechanism in order for us to sleep better at night. For those of us who were out at the courthouse, 1981, 10th, the 21st night, and those who were out at the government house where the official ceremonies were taking place and what have you, it was really a truly honored time for us to have seen the Union Jack come down off our flagpole and to see our flag ascend up to the height. And we say that's a great feeling, and we have come from there till now, as we've done there for the odd years already, and certainly credited progress. Might not be where we want or as fast as where we want, but we have seen the growth of Country Belize in many, many areas where we see all these things happening. So we say kudos in that direction.
I mean, when you look back and you fast forward 45 years, we started out single radio station, no television, none of these technologies that we have. You basically had a local telephone company and an international telephone company that amalgamated in 1987 to create what is now BTL. So all of those things are part of our growing mechanism during the course. We see the resurfacing, the opening of areas. For many persons, the city ended at maybe mile 2 or so on the Philip Golson Highway and didn't go very far on the George Price Highway as well.
Just scattered.
So, you know, roads like Farbers Road was only a semi-Picado type road. All of those things are part of our growing mechanism, especially within the city, in terms of infrastructure. The sewer system, none of those things existed in 1981.
Good point.
So I just wanted persons who weren't wrong at that point in time to appreciate what 1981 was versus what it is, Belize is today.
Yeah.
What is a good visual? It doesn't give you the whole thing, but check out a movie called Dogs of War. It gives you a very clear indication of how at least Belize City looked in the pre-independence period. And because that was shot, I think, probably in 1980 or 1979, 1980 or thereabouts, I can't remember, but certainly, you know, we were still wooden bridges over the canal and all of those things. I mean, we really don't have none of those bridges existing today. They've all been converted into multi-lane vehicle traffic. So all of those things, things like Belt China Bridge didn't exist. You know, so for those persons who have come from 1981 forward, we have come a long way.
Yeah, it's very, very true. I see the old distributors being torn down, and it was built with bricks at bottom, and then the lumber and everything. So that means works to go on. And not too far from it, the crossover in front of Holy Redeemer and coming over to Mike's Club, that is again being done. Then across the other side of the Belcan, you could see where by the BWS in the back area, you could see where that is transcending as well. And you see clearly where 2 bridges is being taken on, and certainly going to go up, and we're going to cross over there.
But it's a major feature being undertaken, because it's not the ideal situation that you'd want to have those 2 bridges under construction at the same time because of the sheer logistical problem that it is going to create. But the circumstance dictates where we are at this point in time based on the funding arrangement. And that is why you have this simultaneous work going on. However, it means then that we have to be fully cognizant and plan out our routes when we're going to be commuting, when we're going to be moving through the city, because you're going to have some inconvenience because of the bottleneck that these thoroughfares are going to create. Granted, they're putting up these temporary
Crossovers.
Bridges to allow us to cross over, as Darrell indicated. But we need to be able to structure ourselves properly, because the Bell China Bridge will be the only real connection to the south side in the city itself proper. You will have the Chetamal Bridge and others that you will be able to get over on the other side. But the point is, in terms of accessing the downtown and the main urban areas within Belize City, you're going to have to access primarily through the Bell China, or you could use these other light overpass bridges that are going to be there. But the reality is that this is a unique situation. It is hoped that this matter will be solved as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, we have to make the level of adjustments.
Yeah. And historically, the old swing bridge is one of its kind in country Belize. Still made a swing. If you never see it swing, I hope we got some kind of clip where we could show you. But it was a classic thing to see, men pushing these bars right around that are hooked up in the middle of the bridge, and actually the bridge actually turns. Boats come across, and then it turns back on the other side. And at that time we were growing up, BEC used to cut logs and bring the logs down the sea, down the river first and into the sea and up, where they would cut it, mill it on their site close to the airport.
I think the bridge used to swing every 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. every day.
Okay.
And there were times when you try to rush to cross the bridge before, because you know it's going to
you have to jump.
You know it's going to swing, because sometimes they swing it with you on
with
it.
you on it, would swing it on
you on it. So you have to wait until they finish swinging it and bring it back, so you could actually continue on, whether you're moving from north side to south side or south side to north side.
And where Bottom Dollar was where our chicle factory was. So whatever we were harnessing in terms of chicle that used to be stored right there, tested and prepared for shipment going out. And just before you see that little empty spot in front of Holy Redeemer, that was actually a gas station at one time, of which you could fill up and and so forth, and add up and whatever.
Where Bottom Dollar is?
Yeah, so it can fit in terms of some parking that is needed in that side, but we will see.
Actually, there were 2 gas stations, actually 3 gas stations
on the North
Front Street. Yeah, because there was one where Brown Sugar is, where the parking lot is.
Yeah, where in front of Eden.
And then they had one where Mirab is, the old Mirab building is at this point in time, for those persons who are nostalgic and trying to keep track of what was post, and that's a little bit after independence. That's how Belize City had 3 actual gas stations on North Front Street.
That time they, at the market, I usually go to the market and visit the market mainly on Saturdays and what have you, and I see my Corozal tamales. I am intrigued because these people are there before me, and they go all the way from Corozal, and they have hot tamales for us. From Orange Walk, I see sweets. Actually, it's a fudge, wangla, tableta, and what have you, coming from Orange Walk. Out there, Mescal plants. This group of family brings some wonderful plants every Saturday, have it out there for sale and what have you. And a majority of people who comes out also in terms of clothing and other items for sale. The last crop of the mango Troy, huge ones, is still out there. Fresh fish being caught is being sold out there. And so we encourage you, visit out there on a Saturday and get your money's worth. All right?
Good night, caller.
Hello, my great friends.
Yes, sir.
You're
Mr.
on
Torres.
the business hour.
We that is Deuce.
Yeah.
and I tell myself, what a series with BTL Smart, no? Me personally, I refer to it as I may call Brother Mose this morning when the senators met there. You know, I refer to it as they don't know how to do it, how to do. They don't know because they are surrounded by one big fence. All the unions, the workers and things, so they're trapped. Well, my friend, I tell myself, whilst I am extremely dunce when it comes to technology, me, right? I know about profit and loss on business transactions. Okay? Man, 360 degree on competition. Like, then we move away from competition to monopoly. Man, like what you said just now, my friend, Brother Troy, it brings me back to all the preparation of 1981 independence. We no get independence. It's dependence. You see, what you call continued subordination. Who they control the business community in Belize? Asians. Boy, nation building began via inexperience, my friend. We never, them then, never had no, me and all, in the era of road traffic, no experience at all. Then they appoint you because they know you. Man, since 1964, the state of Belize is enhancing. Man, we owe more than we... Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. You know, I tell myself, exploitation could end when we press to reshape the state, my friend. And now it started when I become the Belize City first independent mayor. I will prove to Ono. I will prove to Ono. I will prove to Ono my knowledge and expertise and capability. My friends, good night.
Good night, good
Good
night.
night. Always good to hear from you, Torres. You with your
Well, we'll see
know.
if he'll put his name on the ballot, you know. Because as I always say, I got to be in it to win it. As you talk about election, I must say I will probably hear from our good friend Bengo tonight because he must have
won,
been at the convention. Must have been at the convention. We know that the convention for the People's United Party, mayoral candidate and slate, took place this Sunday in PG in Punta Gorda, and the gentleman, Mr. Maclovio Ak, was selected as the mayoral candidate, and the incumbent, Carlos Obia Galvez, came in second. Good night, caller.
Yes, good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, Dr. Gav and my friend Cartier.
Hey, yes, sir.
Good to hear from you.
Good night. The one and only.
In 1981, certain things wasn't there before 1981. Well, I know that the great upholstery of Cemetery Road wasn't there.
No.
It was a nightclub there, Studio 102.
Yeah.
Yes, Studio
we
102.
we were still in school.
Dickie Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah, big good friend of mine too. You know, very.
Okay.
You know, I was the type of young man, but never want all young friends. You know, I always have age of friends.
Okay.
Yeah, we
okay.
grew up like that. We
could have learned from them.
Yeah, we grew up like that. Yeah.
Dickie Garner was a good man. Good
Yes.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I called for a reason. The main reason. Every time I hear my bodyguard here, he keep talking when at the end of the show, you say Isabella. They call all the places that he wants to greet, right?
Yeah.
And I say, every time I hear the things that the fishes are dying, I say, oh my God. But the first person come to my mind is Cartier.
Mm.
Oh, yeah?
Because he always mention Isabella. So I said, boy, but God never sleep because you see the hard rain come and now look at that wash away whatever was killing the fish.
Yeah, it's flushed the river.
Yeah, that was very nice. God is never sleep.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Mr. Gav,
Yes,
have
sir.
you heard they announced it on the radio more than one time that some Miss Universe pageant made a mistake by including Tikal as a Belizean site or something like that?
Yes, I heard. Actually, I caught glimpse of it on Saturday night. I wasn't even aware that a pageant like that was occurring.
So-
Yes, that's what they're being accused of. I did see it, and I was trying to say to myself what that picture was depicting, indeed. And somebody
Yeah.
pointed out earlier this morning that it actually was Tikal, which they feel is something that is inappropriate, no?
And that is the reason why, in more than one occasion, when I call different radio stations, I tell people, become familiar of your surroundings so that you won't make a mistake. Might look as simple, but if you are not familiar with what's around you, where is Chetumal, where is Merida, where is Tulum, where is Tikal, if you're not familiar with that, you will make that mistake.
Yeah, indeed.
So I tell people, and I'll wrap up with this, if you know where part Chicago is, how come you don't know where part Tikal is?
Exactly.
And
Which
it's
is
a big
closer.
distance.
Which is closer.
Anyway, it was nice talking to you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks,
All right.
thanks, Carla.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a Miss Belize Universe pageant that was held on Saturday night. Somebody told me it was being held in San Pedro. There was some mix-up, you know. It was the production was a little bit herky-jerky for the most part. One of the judges, or I guess it was a judge, got up and said there was a mistake. There was supposed to only be 5 finalists, and they picked 6, and so it didn't seem to flow right. And I don't know. It's one of those things that, you know, the Miss Universe pageant is such a iconic pageant that
Right.
you know, I believe last year it was a huge event at the Belize City Center. Everybody knew it was going to happen, and we were able to interview the delegates. And so, because they were supposed to be Belizean people who are going to, are females or ladies who are going to represent Belize, and we didn't get to know who these people were. I don't know if they had social media presence, but certainly I was kind of surprised when I saw it. And then I saw that it was live, because I thought maybe it was a rerun, you know. And so all of that wrapped up in one that I believe that, you know, it is such an iconic contest that it should have taken a much more center position.
Oh, yes.
You know, so, you know, because at the end of the day, anytime somebody is going to represent the country, we want to make sure that, you know, we get everybody behind that individual as best as we can. And one way to do that is to be able to let everybody know you're going to be making the selection. You know, we've gone through days, Darrell, where we pick our Miss Belize to represent us at Miss Universe in a living room.
Oh, goodness.
You know, we just appoint somebody and crunk them in a living room.
Oh,
we've done that a couple times already, and that is so kind of demeaning to the whole pomp and circumstance. Like when you put out the call for action and people would apply, all these contestants or delegates, then you give a good competition and you get people involved, supporters and what have you, you know. So I think to water down the whole contest and kind of lock it off in a corner certainly doesn't bode well for the prestige of the crown. Right, so that's my little 2 cents on that matter since the caller raised it.
Expo is coming up at the Marian Jones in September, so the SME and other small businesses will certainly have their share in terms of Expo. And then you have a woman called Nora. This is coming up September the 11th at the Bliss. And again, we got to big this up as it speaks of rights and the whole story about Nora Parham. And a lot of little activity that was taking place, so we have to look at it and see and take it from there, because that's the thing September celebration brings.
Good night, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Corey,
Sir.
man, I'm in look to go all on hostage at radio station. They going to answer me 2 times, hang up on me.
Tonight?
Yes.
No, sir.
Listen to me.
Oh, apology if that happened. Go
but
ahead.
maybe find the
realize
studio.
that I think I need to go study to be an attorney and go to be a politician because, man, we sheep that believe we get rich easy. We know that detail was a dead deal. It was not feasible.
Too
but
late.
you notice it was so hard. You know why it was pushed so hard? So we stopped talking about Mira and Marine. And look, the thing dead and Mira and Marine dead and that dead. Yes. Yes.
A double debt
And
then,
what
triple debt.
Oh, look at Troy.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, 10 of them are considering. Listen to me. Troy, we are, you know, I'm going to tell you something. You might not like Donald Trump, but
Me?
these guys are reading from his playbook. You see, Donald Trump could wake up the morning and say the worst thing in the world tonight. And the morning, if you make a number with it, it just says something even worse. I don't know, forget that. Oh, yesterday,
An answer said 2 trouble better than 1, no?
I look at Troy. Everybody know what a smoke and mirrors. There is no real magic. Magic is, I tell you, look here, keep your eyes on this. And while you keep your eyes on the thing right in front of you, but you didn't listen to me. You are watching the prize. So you see what happened to me? Now, Troy, would you think that this wasn't a golden opportunity? Golden. I saw it and said, man, I hope somebody come and say, okay, listen to me. Troy, we are 45 years old.
Yes.
Okay? The other day I was coming from Cayo, and I saw a sign on the right hand coming in the Hattieville which said, Guatemala welcomes you. And I wanted to beat up Love FM because I have Love FM car commercial with Guatemala tourism. Now, if that sign was on the other side of the street, a tourist would know when you're going Guatemala is that way. But if I'm coming into this country for the first time and there is a sign that says Guatemala welcomes you, I'm thinking I'm entering Guatemala.
Okay, I have to look for that sign
You see
there.
what I'm saying?
I heard the ad on Love, but it's an ad being played where Guatemala is promoting itself to Belizeans and whoever is listening.
I don't listen. I understand.
Yeah.
How many commercials does Guatemala have promoting tourists from Guatemala to come to Belize?
Well, we need to put some ad over there. We need to put some ad.
Have you heard any?
No, I don't know of any. I don't know any, but I know that our Belize Tourism Board advertise externally or internationally all the time. I don't know if they specifically buy spots in Guatemala.
I will move to one more thing because I don't think that I said enough about the deal.
Okay.
This weekend, I spent my weekend defending one person and hoping that somebody from BET will call me and fact-check Shine Barrow. Because I was Shine Barrow. If you guys remember how much time I called him and tell him, give the boy a chance. Watch what he could do first. Don't crucify the man. The man has redeemed himself, the Ghana prison, bam, 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 let me see where you know. I don't feel that sentiment anymore. As a matter of fact, I get insulted every day, so people meet me and tell me more than things. But there was an interview with the man, and boy, I watched it, and I said, I wonder why we don't know this Shine Barrow that we need. This humble, I feel like he's bipolar, you know. Apparently when he gets front of the camera, he would be a great actor, because, man, the way he sounds, is he has nothing but love and hopes to come and lead us out of the hell we are living in. But I think BT is doing a disservice to itself. They prop her up and now they listen. You understand me? No. Shine Barrow is one thing. And I've also called you guys more than once, and I had to defend my Clashcraft this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I read Facebook. Oh, there were vampire.
He's a this, he's a that. And you know, I commented on one and I said, listen to me. By extension, we are all to be blamed for Michael Ashcroft. Michael Ashcroft told us, you get a politician you vote for. Now, let me explain something to you, Troy and Darren. Michael Ashcroft is a product of beliefs. We created Monster. Listen to me. If you watch 1 million movie, a monster is never born. They are created. They are enabled. And we enabled him until he turned around and do it the lowest. And we want to still create that do it. You know why? Because he's a puppet master. A very skillful puppet master.
Okay.
Right? And we tolerate him. I can't hate Michael Ashcroft. You know why? Because if I become a prime minister or a minister, Michael Ashcroft will look like a boy to me. The things I would do to this country, no, you guys ain't seen nothing yet.
Why?
Because I don't see that you guys will lay down and take it. The people this weekend showed one little, every time I want to give up Pablis, right? They show me something. The other day I wanted to give up with the Ruta Maya. And I cried when I saw the crowd paddle to the Belkan. Because I thought, we're going to destroy the Belkan. Wouldn't we have rallied around that, turned that into a big event instead of carrying that in China, man? But we are Belizeans. We are sheep. We follow. We are 45 years old, Troy. When I'm a young Troy, if somebody may tell me, look, one day you want to call the radio and you want to talk things that make me sense. Well, not all the time. But sometimes I get cold feet when I come out and I say, I can't believe I just said that. Look,
you see that?
but I'm getting old. And I'm looking, I love this country, Troy. Troy, you know
All of
this
us.
September celebration. The national song start playing for Love FM. I listen to Love FM all day. I might crucify them sometimes, but Love FM makes me know the air is coming to a close by every single thing that is repeated. And I have an issue with Love FM because he can't play Christmas song until after the 90s. But California got some of the baddest Christmas songs.
All right.
Because if you ever hear Ring the Bell or Beat the Drums, nobody sing it better than Gareth Fuller.
I hear you.
So, listen to me, guys. What I'm saying is this. When I listened to that song, they said, I don't remember what the song name, but it's a fan ladder. We have reached maturity.
Oh, King
We are a
Shot.
nation of people with love, respect, and dignity.
Yes.
We must show the world we have reached maturity.
All right.
But this year, I was insulted when I heard that song. That song didn't get me feeling the September spirit. You know why?
No.
Because it's a look at what's happening in my country. Is this what that race fought for? I wish I could. Well, I don't wish. Let me take that back.
You want to bring him back?
That price.
I hear you. Rub up for me, though. Rub up for me.
Listen to me. He would be ashamed. You see that meter where you got per house? You see how fast that spin? That race is spin faster than that thing that way.
All right. I
When
hear you.
I did this for this. When Belizeans wake up and realize when we reach like Haiti, when we have a guy where we're afraid where they call by Rector, it's then we have to say, oh, boy, we need to do better. We're 45 years old people. It's time to wake up and start think. I don't know.
Good.
I cannot.
Good to hear from you, Luke.
Try.
Take care.
So, forgot me and I'll make a
No,
friend.
man.
I'm
No
giving out
worries.
my chance.
It's good to hear from
Yeah,
you.
you have
Thanks,
to
man.
call more often because
Okay.
you're bile up. All right?
No,
All right.
because what happened, oh, no, allow me to get in.
Hi,
Come on.
boy.
I don't want to crucify the person we get in before.
Hi,
But
boy.
for all this, allow you to get in.
No,
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
I don't want to say it.
That's it. Take care. Hey,
Anyway,
Luke.
guys,
Later.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, the song he was talking
Full of
about
window.
is a new beginning by
A
King
New
Short
Beginning
Shirt,
by
which
King
is the
Short Shirt. That
which
was
is the independence song for Belize in 1981. That was the signature.
The person who really and truly got that done was the Prime Minister Said Musa at the time. He weren't Prime Minister, but at that time he had a person who do it in real time in his house. King Short Shirt would fax a sheet, one part of it and what have you, and Said would make some changes and what have you, and fax it back on to him. And I was privy to be there when this happened and so forth. So I'm fully aware of how that song came about.
It's a very good song.
And somebody,
with the words. The
somebody,
lyrics is very.
if you follow some of the lyrics into Said writings, into his book, you'll find the Seatic Eidite.
Good night, caller.
Yes, it's Orlando Dawson, Stephen Half Moon.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Dawson.
Just only please for contribute. I hear you have mentioned about the chicle, no?
Yeah.
But on the opposite side, at the canal, somewhere along probably where that one hotel is for Mr. Ware.
Yeah.
In the
Is it Belcourt?
Where they used to buy the cocoon, right?
Uh-huh.
And they had a soap factory because they used to make blue soap.
Yes.
That's the one piece. Then the other piece, PG, I hear you mention Miss Nora Parham, right?
Yeah.
The number one song, or the song we played for Miss Nora Parham in 1963 was Still Do You Broke My Heart.
Oh, wow.
by Bill Anderson, right?
Okay.
Bill Anderson did that number in 1963. And another piece of information that right where the chicken place was today, they put one pontoon when they made a repair
Yes.
bridge.
Yes.
You remember when that pontoon broke where a couple people made wrongly down there?
Aye, boy. Yes, man.
yes,
Yeah.
Pontoon Bridge.
Well, I don't want to take up much of your time because I listen to
All right.
like listen to the show, right?
Yeah.
And I want to hear PG
Thanks.
Man and Stan Quickman more, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mr. Dawson.
All right.
Sure.
Remember that old gas station when we enter into PG? All right. We used to stay at Mahong Hotel or what have you. As a matter of fact, I met Mr. Price at the same hotel where I stay. It was the Mahong Hotel at that time, no?
Yeah, well,
But-
like I said, quite a number of issues. There is no time that is a perfect time, but growth has occurred.
Yes.
And it's how you want to. You can either look at the glass half full or half empty. But there has been progression on a consistent basis in terms of how modernized we have grown as a city and as a society on a whole. When you look at where we are compared to previous, yes, you could look and be nostalgic. Because some persons are, when you had your mom and pop shops, your corner lane shop, and so we've migrated, there are large supermarkets, and so some people might say, well, most of them are owned by foreigners or Asian or different, but many of those persons have now become Belizeans and a part of our system. But the fundamental issue is that in terms of looking at us as a sort of backwater tongue, that has certainly not the case now substantially.
Yes.
And like I said, I urge persons to, if you get the opportunity, look at a movie called Dogs of War, and you'll see, you get some visual of Belize in the movie, and you can draw your own conclusion whether or not that is where you want to go back
the barracks. The old crazy house is still the upstairs at the barracks.
Yeah, where it is you want to go back to, because at the end of the day, there are going to be changes and there are going to be issues that is going to plague every society.
Right.
And it is our job to be able to make the correction as you go along. But that doesn't mean that we stop grow.
Yeah.
We'll continue to do things. Just like a government, because they have one issue or an obstacle, that doesn't mean they stop governing. They have to keep governing. They have to keep working. Those bridges have to continue to build. Those roads continue to build. They have to continue to improve the infrastructure, the conditions, the education. All those things have to continue to go. You can't stop and say, well, one thing didn't work, so we'll stop
Shut it
here.
down. Nope.
Good night, caller.
Yes, good night, gentlemen.
Don Hector is
Yes,
in the
Don Hector.
house.
I just tell the receptionist good morning, imagine.
All right, that means you're just weak.
Sartorius, I like him with Sartorius, but you can't think where you look at, like 1964 and got to go. Or maybe okay, they have come, says 1964, he said, things gone bad. 1964 was a blessed year in the history of Belize.
Okay.
1964 is when the British handed
government.
over the administration of government to Belizean ministers. That's when George Price created his first Belizean cabinet, and that cabinet began what we call nation building. Nation building began in 1964 because before that we could not do anything. We had to ask the British. So 64 we began to see road to Punta Gorda, road to Sargenea, to San Victor, and all these developments began in 64. There was no electricity before 1964. Only Belize City had electricity.
Oh, wow.
1964 we gave electricity to the whole country of Belize. We gave water supply systems to the nation of Belize and even to Belize City at mile 16 that we run. So 1964 was actually the beginning of nation building.
Okay.
And I said, with all praise to George Caleb Price, a capital was built. Places like Hattiebel, Georgetown, Hillgrass were built. Roads to where there were none. The sugarcane industry came full force. Mr. Price made 5,000 cane farmers own their land.
Right.
We took over from Rolling Creek to Barton Creek, from away from the Belize state, and we pay her with taxes that they owed. We took over the lands at Bullet Tree, in Coruscant. 1964 was a blessed year, so that by 1973, Belize was ready to assume the responsibility of independence. But Mr. Price told the British, no, I have to consult my people. 6 years to consult the people of Belize, prepare the flag, prepare the anthem, prepare these things that were to be done. So I close there for the information of my good friend Sartorius.
Thank you.
Melchor came to the rescue of the Belize Gala yesterday and day before. My gracious, this place was filled. 47 buses came yesterday to the frontier, and 3,000 people went out to shopping in the Melchor.
Oh, wow.
It sends a message that our business people do not want to to reduce some of their profits. How Melchor can do it, and some of the things that they said at Melchor, that the same one way or merchants import from Guatemala and El Salvador and Costa Rica. So that sends a message. And my final one is that I read something from a Belizean, I don't want to mention his name,
Okay.
that this disparity in the ethnic groups of Belize is causing some kind of a resentment. But look, according to the statistics, there are some 200,000 Belizeans abroad. They left and the Central Americans came in. I don't think 200,000 Central Americans have come in. Impossible. But yet, 200,000 Belizeans left for Belize for better pasture. And yet these people came in and we needed carpenters, we needed farmers, we needed... and these people came to do that job. When you go to construction work, my gracious me, you see few Central America or Hondurans that are good Spanish.
I have been to some of these areas to see who are there. So actually, we must not blame any ethnic group. And Toledo gave an example yesterday. Toledo elected a multi-ethnic council. Wamaya is running for the mayor of Punta Gorda. When would you ever vote before? So George Price in his tomb right now was be saying, we are all Belizeans. And then you had Garifunas and you had of Indian descent, Coleman, I think they really. So Toledo gave us a lesson that we must not bank on only ethnicity, but we must stand, present ourselves as good Belizeans.
Yeah.
That's my message tonight. So that on the 10th September 24th, we get together as Belizeans. Let us drop this ethnic things, you know. Jamaicans and Jamaicans in Jamaica. Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans. Mexicans and Mexicans. Only here we try to take on me the Creole, me the Panya, me the Maya, me the... No, we have to contact. George Price sent that message.
Thank you. Thank you.
Belizean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Don Hector. With the largest barrier reef over this side of the hemisphere. I don't go tell nobody we are the second. We are the largest barrier reef over this side of this hemisphere. We got the Blue Hole, visited by no other than Jacques Cousteau, and the many atolls and islands where we have out there. I'm not talking that when you come on board to our country now, on the mainland, your inheritance is all this mangrove and all this medicinal trees and mahogany and what have you that we find, lagwood and what have you that we find. Then we end up with the Maya Mountains, we end up with all the hills, the gold, the dolomite, all these things given to us in our blessing. This is a blessed country. And so, yes, little by little we got it, but we have, Troy could tell you, we have grown from one era. I moved in an era, 4 Pelican Street, that had no light, no water when we moved there. They never had the boulevard when we moved there. And so we could tell that story. As a matter of fact, all over Belize, the expansion that we through these pipes that was dragging sand and doing filling all in the Kings Park era.
Dredging.
The dredging all over
Yes,
the city Belize.
Sandpiper.
And so we could see where it come from. We could see where we have been.
Good night, caller.
I wanted Hector. That's my brother. That's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care which party you belong to, right? With the Belizeans, and I love much more Belizeans of prior to 1964.
Okay.
Because when we inherited, we never had Asians having stores, shops, etc., etc., etc. That we. Then take away everything from we and give them by them in. What's we? Where we there? When I said Belizean, no half make pania or full make pania or Creole. We were mid-year prior to 1964. Where we got one away, they look good, have good monies in bank, live very good. One away. Look on the majority. Look on when they start to give out land. They build some barracks for people, 30 families in a one. Whenever spread it out, we talk about, Don Hector talk about claiming land and this and this and that from the British. That's only for we job. But then you never make the commerce owned and run by foreigners, man. And then you give land to Central Americans And now we have to the rent, so a lot of we people rent from them. You know, never declare for the Belizean of prior to 1964. God damn it, or else we know may never part with it today. We know may have so much of a high population. We may have a very small population of 240, 260,000, and one big economy, huge economy. We never had to borrow because tourism that was backbone.
Okay.
Tourism that was backbone. So, anyway.
Good.
Yeah, what? Well, now I allow me privilege that don't Hector, so I want to sit down.
Okay. You got don't do more than Don Hector. The point is this: is that first thing first, nobody give nothing to nobody. Any property that people got, or you see some choice location, many of our people, we sold our properties to those persons. So it's not a situation that there's something orchestrated that occurred, that you end up with Asian people or so. But between 1984 to 89, they had an economic citizenship
sold
program.
our birthright. We sold
and
our
so
birthright.
because we did that as a way to grow our economy, those persons became Belizeans. They came, and then we sold them these we sold out our businesses
we
to
thought
them.
that they were on their way to the US, so when they saw Belize and the opportunity, they said, boy, we could take this.
and again, let me remind everybody that it is people that look like us that goes to these stores and buy. So who are we to be upset with?
Yeah.
Good night, caller.
Troy, big.
Boy, Bingo, I wonder why you are never the first caller.
Bengu is in the house.
I was wondering why you weren't the first caller.
I only got $8 for my credit.
Well, I thought you collect big yesterday.
No. Boy, stop. I'm not going to PG. But I'm glad that our Indian man take it over because look at them and do better than Galvez. No, let me see something now. I know he's your man too. He's your kind of. I enjoy man. That one thing.
You made a man,
you are. I want you to listen to me carefully. I want to ask you one way. I want you to be honest with me.
Yes, tell me.
Word up on the street said that you could get one smart number that BTL.
One smart
You
number?
fumble.
No.
You can't get that.
No, not two different networks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Two different networks.
All right, I want you to investigate it. Maybe that lie, maybe that not true.
Why they want to clutter up your brains with that thing? You don't happy already that you get a new mayor and all of that. You don't happy. You get your street, but maybe Santa Maria street and get fixed.
I did agree with the route for Mariano.
Oh, all right. I'm looking at the corner. I'm swear at you. I say they rejoice. Maybe that.
No. I got people
Maybe you.
I call it up. Then one next thing where I want to deal with Troy, you knowledgeable and I have to ask you, is there a way whereby we could eliminate the politicians then by dismantling the two parties? You laugh.
Who run the show? I mean,
One military coup.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's a whole different kettle of fish.
No, that's the only thing we want to solve the problem.
No.
Because the politicians and the cause the problem, but that sounds funny.
You don't want no military crew.
Well, remember that every system has its own issues.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Everyone will
democracy
They deal with human
democracy
beings.
is what
Democracy, they work for we, Troy. They work.
Oh, well, you know what? You just tell me you get one new mayor at PG. You just tell me you get a new mayor at PG. That's a democracy.
Yeah, but they work.
If you have a military...
Because you have to listen to me, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to listen to the piam then where they talking at the background that they'll get the message.
Okay.
You understand? There are complications.
But you may don't know the answer to your question, man. That's the problem.
Military coup.
You ask me the question and you don't know the answer where you are.
No, I just want to know if you agree with me.
Sometimes
There's a lot of good that has happened under democracy in Belize. from the Commonwealth all to our independence, right to where we are now. Yet you could look at the deficiencies, you could look at the faults that exist in there. Okay?
I know you're up on shot, leash.
Slap we right now the face, you got to try right there so we got birth, pass. I don't know if that lie the internet they talk about. But when you got the internet and it splash that information like that for you, then you have to believe because nobody know the contract the kid. You understand? This boy is big. Now Joy, I want we deal with another story. This thing with the teachers, it hurts me.
Yeah, John.
You know why? When you say you put something in at the teacher hand and she husband they drive it wrong like that for them. So then I know I can't name.
Right, John.
I know I can't now Troy. We need to change the education system and where Brother Sabaneto is good, but it's not being implemented because the people then where it depends on to do it no good. They know they do the thing good.
But you have to step up, John. You have to get him on a hand, John. You have to step up, man.
Me? Hey, Joy. Hey, Joy. I will give you an example about how I look on it. If you go to the hospital rated at Southern Regional,
yes,
and you might get a job there, and you want to tell the other staff, then we are work for efficiency, we are do this, we are do that, we are do that for the people you going first. You are
all right then, John. Good for you, for you.
Hey, Joy, that's a big move, but we have a real.
Yes, I hear
This
you.
are not play time, this are not play time, nor show time. This are time for the people, then the children, then where the people they talk about, they got knowledge, then This are knowledge for the children then.
All
we
right.
need to have a change, and the only change is that one party, one flag, one people, one destiny, and we are get glory.
Glory.
So I'll let you on direct by
Yes.
because no big.
I tell you, John.
Thanks,
We
John.
got everything
Thanks.
you just say except one party.
Except that the
We got one
dictatorship.
flag. We
uh,
got one. The point is that every system have its pros and cons. Every one of them will have deficiency. Right now we're operating on a structure of democracy where we elect our leaders as opposed to our leaders force themselves on us. We decide that we decide when you go to the polls based on the choices that is put in front of us, and that we go select their choice too, at conventions.
yes.
Good night, caller.
Hello, Troy, good night.
Good night, good night.
Hey, good night, man.
Good night.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. Good night, caller.
Yeah, these have been a long way, Brother Troy, because when I used to drive for Lee's Flour Mill, there was have to go through Magazine Road, Burn and Shady Magazine Road, and then Queen Charlotte to get to port.
Yeah.
That part of the boulevard never finished it now.
Yes, that's true.
So it was go through a lot of stress because that trailer truck where they drive. And we're going through the narrow street. And sometimes in the Chabela truck, they carry diesel up that Magazine Road to BEL.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then we meet up that the head of the, he come out at Magazine and they come down Vernon have a stop, reverse back
Oh, my.
to Burj of Field, from Burj of Field
Mhm.
all the way to make him go clear because sometimes he bring out two trailers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, driving easy now, man.
I remember those days. The boulevard wasn't yet completed, and then when they started, it took a long time to pave it because it was a clay finish, dusty like hell.
But we shot in the fibers, though. I think that was a huge mistake. We need to cut off a piece of that walking era. Huh?
Then when I stop work for I got and drive to for Belize Race Control.
Right, right.
They had some small truck. They go through Drum Street, Wagner's Lane, and so I tell Mr. Lam that time I could carry the big truck. Man, truly, he said, "You can't do that. Give me the truck, man."
You get it through.
And I mean start to push big truck through there.
Okay.
Okay.
Brother Darrell could tell when I was coming off at Chapel Lane right into Dean Street. But
That is right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, can hear me there at Dean Street.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell your daughter, the great artist, Grace Primary School, just walk her down the stretch.
Yes.
I'd touch your hand and I say, hey, where do you want to touch me, Mr. Darrell? Yeah.
Yeah,
This on Alberto, Troy?
yes, man, I know you. You that big,
Yeah.
you that big back.
Right. So I'm talking to somebody that they asked me, well, how about the building's done? I said, but I'm not sure what that in a city like that.
Yeah.
But I have one crowd Orange Walk and
Yeah.
so they do one thing.
Yeah. A lot of thing has drop off. Boxing drop off. A
Right.
lot of sports that we knew back then is no
Right.
longer.
Nelson
what
was
it is.
as a fierce competitor when I was in
Yes.
charge of bodybuilding
Yeah,
way
right,
back
right.
then.
The president at the time there.
Yeah,
Then have match as well was president.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
yes,
Alfred
yes.
Mackenzie was president
Yes,
as
Mac,
well.
Mac, yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Back in the days.
Well, Troy, you know who have the most title in bodybuilding? Mr. Belize, you know who?
Why, I don't know. Thomas, who, you think? Or Joe?
That's right. You're correct.
Thomas, right.
Thomas right.
Yes.
Then Ben Mackay the second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ben. Yeah.
And then
Right.
maybe Obispo after, you think?
I still not think so. Maybe it could be between here and Rochelle Bevans. Because Bevans pick up one lot in his time as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but first certainly that Thomas come to my mind
Yeah,
first as
Thomas
well.
the first one, yeah.
He was very
Yeah.
dominant in his time.
Yeah, he have 8 miss, I believe.
Yeah, he was
Ben
very
have
dominant.
7.
Yeah. I see Tom from time to time. I do. He's still around.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sometimes well, they not hear me or so he Hercules and the boys over just hang together.
Yes, Hercules Hernandez.
Right.
Well, good for hear from you, Nelson.
Yeah, try it. Thanks very much, man. Like I say, I don't know. I was listening to every time you're there.
All right, it's excellent, man. Good to hear from you, and you take care. All right.
Yeah, you too. Take care, brother Darrell.
Yeah.
All right,
Bless
yes,
you guys,
man. All the
Yeah,
best.
I just like when it turned into Warrapan Street because that's the shortest street in Belize today.
Indeed,
And you
indeed.
maneuver yourself.
Yeah, it's certainly you know, there's a little bit of nostalgia we're
Yes,
touching
yes,
on tonight.
yes,
I
yes.
mean, but the point is that
Yeah.
you know, as a community and society, because we get caught up in a lot of the things that are happening, and nothing wrong with that. Of course, I don't have a difficulty. I think I deal with it every time we get a chance. The BTL issue, the issue with the procurement, all of those issues, we continue to deal with them because they're a part of how we're governed and all the issues that are going on. We're going to kind of go into another chapter of since the BTL matter has come to a close in terms of the purchase of BTL purchasing the Smart SpeedNet enterprise. But who knows, there's going to be other kind of challenges that we continue to face. And, you know, we have the issue of the fuel issue where the price of fuel continues to haunt us because the war on the Strait of Hormuz continue to be closed in terms of
Right.
the Iran-US war that has started from February and is still plaguing us today. You know, so we continue to have to try to deal with those issues. We saw the issue of the fish kill in the Belize River Valley area as well. Those are things that are part of the growing pains that we go through. And it's how quickly we could resolve those issues is important. We still have the crime situation that we have to take care of.
Yeah, just this evening, you know,
There's a shooting back in the Martins
the market area.
Yes, and another one in the Martins area, one young man, Gibson. We're still faced with sarcasm. We have all those issues that are still affecting us as a society. But we also have things going on that are going forward that are
Yes.
positive, you know. So
Free education, free schooling.
as they say, you don't want to throw away the baby with the bathwater. All right. So the reality here for us in particular is to be able to continue to navigate ourselves through all of these issues, because we still have a lot to be grateful, thankful, and a lot to work with. So it's important for us, especially young people, to seize the moment. If it's education, try and get as much of it as you can. Whether it is vocational or academia, make much of the opportunity. And then when you get that opportunity, don't squander it and put it to good use.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is going to be for all of us, you know. And if you got kids and grandkids and so on, that is the carryover. So very, very important that you don't take your opportunity or what you stand for very lightly. As they say, everyone counts.
Yeah.
It's that time of the night as well. I want to tell everybody to check out Nix and Act 610-1961. Give them a call on their Facebook page as well. Check them out on their Facebook page or give them a call at 610-1961. Want to say welcome back to both my wife Carmita, my two granddaughters Taylor and Ziana, who I hope is probably getting ready for bed. School is not in yet or on yet, so they still get a chance to kind of linger around late
right.
nights and maybe still sleep, as well as my grandson Ace as well. And we certainly want to urge everybody to join us again next week, same time, where we hope to do this all over again just for you. But of course, join me in the morning as well. We'll have the morning show with Ernesto, where we will be able to deal with many, many topics that are occurring within our 8,867 square miles.
Bev and Arthur, Bev mom, we gotta say good night to you. Keisha and Willie, I hope you don't fall asleep late. Eleanor Lang, who I think she was down south in Placentia listening to us last week. And certainly Miss Arana, the great cook out there at Constitution Park that does selling the foods and what have you. I like to big up certainly Michael Hendy and Mrs. Hendy, and certainly Wayne Henley, I haven't forgotten you as well. The Bull, the Lanza family, the Herrera family, and certainly the Holtz family, and certainly hailing up the banners out there in Lemanal, listening also to the show. Certainly Owen Henley, Shedrack Henley, and Margaret Henley. We say special good night to you folks. As we cross over the river, we're into Flowers Bank, where I say good night to the Robinson, the Rayburn family, the Smith chair lady, Miss Smith, and certainly other members of the council. And certainly keep up the good work in there. Mrs. Angelit and the Bull Red Wine out there in Barrel Boom. Leal listening to us in the US of A. Erica Green, Wayne Moody, wherever you are, my brother. And certainly those also my brother, James Lightburn, and my sister Angela Usher Carter out there in Canada, and certainly the rest of the family. I say a special good night also to you folks. As we come in at the Crooked Tree, we say good night to you, Miss Wade, and certainly Groove and your family, and the guys hanging out at the Chinese shop out there. Coming out at the roundabout, the Bud family, and coming up, we're hailing the people out in Biscayne, and then certainly at Davis Bank, and certainly at these other areas. To Darrell Dice Brooks, and certainly Bala, our number one runner. Dion Brackett, we say good night to you also. Wani and Crocus, Brother Garden, who drops in every now and then. Peter Carter and Tony Novello, we say good night also to you guys. And at the same time, Big D, Elodia, and Newton, who has lost his mommy from out of Doublehead, we say our special condolence to him as well. Certainly Wayne Hope, we haven't forgotten you. And with Wayne Hope, we have to also big up Buck, the barber, and certainly Mud also, or specialist in terms of bringing back old vehicles, accident vehicles, and what have you. And then go certainly to Keisha and Willie back at Raccoon Street that has the knock-up shop. And certainly all you guys that listens to the show in that area and tell us what going on in there. My next door neighbor, Miss Doll, certainly Miss Rose Jr., and want to say to Glenn, I haven't forgotten you, and the lady, special good night to you. Brenda Lee had bun and bread last week. This week she'll only have bun, but you got to put in your order. And you got to come early if you intend to claim yours. And so he says to the great cook, and certainly maker, baker of bread, buns, and what have you. Wani also does a lot of helping here. But certainly Friday, certainly Saturday morning, bread will be available. But put in your order, get yours now from Brenda Lee. And if you want cake, special cake, she does it. If you want catering, rice and beans and food or what have you, she does that. So reach out to her. And I know the takeaway that she does here and what have you as well. So knock up at Brenda Lee. To the parent family in the alleyway, we say good night to you. To the to Grands who is in there, and certainly to Judith, and certain Plum, and certain Rambo, all my buddies in there. Miss Mearns, next door neighbor as well. Good night to you and your family, as we also come back to Dice family and say good night. CC and Basil, St. Michael's, Tracy, certainly Murty, and all you guys, we got to big it up, and if we heal up one, we have to then heal up our buddy right next door, Crew Will, and his family, because they too, they work also together. Delroy and the guys them over at the other shop right there at Burgess, in Burgess Yard. We say good night to you guys. Keep up the good work. The Heredia families right next door, Burr, the mechanic as well, and all you that I see seated in there. Fire store that is at the corner of the boulevard right there going towards the school. We say great service to the people in there. To Charles Abadera and the people over at Belize Foam, his daughter, his son, and certainly Sharon, I haven't forgotten you, and the guys who does the production of mattresses and beds and so forth. We say thank you. Right next door, it is our buddy who does has stuff for sale as well, right in there as we come down to Southside Meats shop, and a lot of people get their stuff there, fresh, cut, well prepared. Miss Wilma's Pharmacy, Latino Barber Shop. These guys does a very wonderful cutting of hair, what have you. And then we come down to Fat Daddy's Burger and the IDS shipping agency that they ship all over Belize, Corozal to PG to San Ignacio, all the way to the Keys, and into my store where I was today, certainly Habit and Habet, where I saw Olga, I saw Jeannie, I saw Carmita, I saw Miss Marsh, and certainly ran into Match, Mrs. Match Jr., Basil, Miss Lisa, Miss Cho, and Dino, my schoolmate, and all you wonderful guys that I see. Where you could get from one small thing when you build a house to the big things, the zinc, whatever out there at Habit and Habet. Face and Habit and Habet is V's Diner. Great food. We say kudos to you too. And coming down, M&M's Lumber Yard, where you could get all your lumber needs right there, and then Community Pharmacy right in front of them. Going down, I run into the guys them over at the Constitution Taxi Stand, where they are always there to pick you up, to take you everywhere you go. Percy Reynolds and the rest of you guys, thanks for listening to the show. They always mention it, Troy. So I got to punch out to them. crossing over to King Street Bridge because I am a walker as well, so sometimes I do a lot of walking in there. Miss Hope at the foot of the bridge, Cedric Flowers and his accounting firm, Ditz, ran into them today, over 65 years, and certainly still keeping it up. And also the woman who has King Street still alive and well, Miss Tucker, Posh, and all you doing what you're doing. Norman, who is Armin's buddy that does the hops right out there. Jerry Brother, who has taken over and into trims where I get my threads, my zippers, anything where I need in terms of sewing, and also you get from there. Into Mikado's that certainly had the sale last week in terms of getting back to school, so you could get school uniform materials, everything you want in that line. As for me, it's upholstering, fabric, and what have you. So I see Terry, I see Carolyn, I see all you wonderful people who serve us, take care of us, even running into our owner every now and then. And then to the people at Simon Kwan who listens to the show, who says, hey, we also have material, we also have a lot of stuff to share, a lot of things to sell. I says, yeah, that is so true. That is very true in there. To all our people who we meet from time to time who says, hey, we listen to the business hour. I got to feel good. I got to say thank you on behalf of Troy Peoples, who is our facilitator on radio, Greg, our facilitator on television, and on behalf of Troy and myself, we says thank you. Join us next week, same time. We are out of here, Belize.
Bye-bye.
We're gone.